Hey, welcome, players, parents, and coaches. This is quarterback coach Todd Krueger. Welcome to Elite Football Recruiting Show here on Sports Fan Base Network, Rhode Island. Another Friday night. Thanks for taking the time to come watch. It's going to be a great show. We're going to talk a little bit about high school football, college football, a little bit about pro football, the playoffs. Excited tonight for our guest. We have Brigham Dunphy from Barrington High School here in Rhode Island. He's a 2021 quarterback, so we're going to talk to him in about 10 minutes. But to start, I've got my Tampa Bay Buccaneers hat. I was lucky enough to do a clinic down in Florida, so I grabbed a hat back in the day. So I'm rooting for Tom Brady and the Buccaneers to beat the Packers. I know they're underdogs, but it'd be great. And then on the flip side, I'm kind of rooting for the Bills. Nick, if you want to slide that picture in, here's the time, man. I'm a huge Buffalo Bills guy because I was lucky enough to get drafted. Yeah. Thank you, Nick. That logo wasn't when I was playing, but was lucky enough to be drafted by the Buffalo Bills back in the day. Had a cup of coffee there. Had some great memories playing at Rich Stadium, which is now Ralph Wilson Stadium. Back before COVID, they had the largest capacity before Dallas built their stadium. It held 81,000 and it was packed. So, man, those are some good memories. Anyways, good luck to the Bills. I know they're underdogs against Kansas City. Mahomes is pretty tough. I don't know how he's going to be with his injury, but we'll have to see. Mahomes is kind of the new breed. Josh Allen's kind of the new breed. These young cats can just sling it, scramble, off platform, arm angles at different angles, all kinds of stuff. And then on the flip side, in the NFC, we've got Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady, both Hall of Famers, both Super Bowl champs. My opinion, Tom Brady's the best and greatest of all time. So we'll see. I was really lucky enough to work with Tom Brady's private quarterback coach, Tom Martinez, before he passed away. Now Tom works with Dr. House, the pitching coach out of L.A., and Josh Allen actually works with him also, Tom House in California. I was trying to get House's younger son to come out to do a quarterback training camp, but all that got kiboshed with COVID. Anyways, that's about the NFL. Hopefully, we're based here in New England. The show's based in Rhode Island, Sports Fan Base Network in Rhode Island. They did not play, for the people who were outside this area, high school football did not play this fall because of the COVID. So they decided to push it back. So in Rhode Island, in Mass, Maine, Vermont, New York, they're going to try to play football in February. So in about 5 weeks, they're going to have training camp starting February 24th, I think. And they're going to practice for 2 weeks, and then they're going to start playing games. And they're going to do a shortened season. They're going to have 4 regular season games and then 2 playoff games. So they're going to try to play a whole, part of a season in 6 weeks. So it's not ideal. It's tough with the COVID, but something's better than nothing. So that's kind of coming up. So we'll talk to Brigham and talk about how that's going on. So some of the high school kids in this area are getting ready to have their season. I don't know how that's going to work. Right now it's outside. It's about 35 degrees. There's not much snow, so it won't be bad, but schools that have grass fields, the grass is kind of frozen. So I'm just curious how that's going to work out. And then hopefully there's no snow, or maybe they're going to play all their high school games on turf. So there's some challenges going on, but I appreciate that the states are trying to do something for the kids. It's just so challenging for seniors. We'll talk a little bit about that with Brigham, what it's like to be a senior and not have a football season. A lot of the guys that I train and work with all want to play college football, and it's been tough, to get any kind of recognition. So it's really been a challenge. Hopefully, with a vaccine, things kind of come back to normal this year in 2021. So the NCAA opens up recruiting again. But as of right now, until April 15th, all the Division I schools, which are FBS and FCS, are not allowed to come off campus. They're not allowed to have on-campus camps or junior days or anything like that. So, they just had the signing day is coming up for the top players, the FBS players, and so it really hasn't affected those guys, the superstars, the 5 stars, the 4 stars. Kids are getting offers from Alabama, Georgia, Clemson, Ohio State, in our area, Boston College, Syracuse. The kids that are going to those schools, this doesn't affect them. The COVID really doesn't affect them as much. But kids who are lower levels, maybe a Division II kid or a Division III kid or maybe a FCS, it's tough to get recognized, and it's hard for the college coaches to recruit too because they can't go off campuses. So all they're doing is Zoom interviews and Zoom visits and recruiting you virtually and looking at your Twitter. And so I've talked about this over and over and over now, probably for a month. And I'm sure people who've watched my every show are tired of me saying, but you really need to make sure your Twitter account is on point. And that if you have it, you want to have your huddle tape listed there, because that is the method that all college coaches are recruiting now. We had a showcase back during Christmas break in New Hampshire, and I got a chance. We had about 32 coaches there, and I got a chance to speak to a bunch of college coaches, and I asked them, what's the method of recruiting with COVID? And they all said, we're using Twitter. And they said their kids' Twitter account's got to be on point. You got to have your name, your year, your position, your GPA, your height, your weight, your 40 time if it's excels, you can squat, 400 if you're all state, you're state champs, if you play basketball, you're a multi-sport athlete, you have a high SAT score, anything you can have that will show some success on your Twitter, you want to have it. And then you also want to have your huddle tape. And so I asked them about that because I still see guys with 8, 9, 10-minute huddle tapes. Your huddle tape, no college coach is going to give you a scholarship or offer you off your huddle tape. They're not dumb. They know you can delete all your bad plays, so all you're going to show is your best plays. So all they're looking for is an idea if they want to recruit you. So I specialize in training quarterbacks, so all you need to do is have 10, 12, 15 plays. You want to have your wild plays first, your best, most dynamic plays first. If that's a scramble, if that's throwing a pass for a touchdown on the run, if you run somebody over, maybe you threw an interception and you chase a guy down like Metcalf did with the Seahawks, something like that. So whatever it is, you want to put that in your huddle. And then I know there's some players who haven't started, or maybe they're waiting till their senior year to start, and they don't have a huddle tape. So I see lots of guys showing their workouts. Get a buddy to put their cell phone up and show them working out, doing your squats. Maybe you're at the turf doing some speed work or squatting or whatever it is. Maybe it's 7-on-7 that your school's doing or something like that. Whatever you have you can show them, you want to put that out there. And their college coaches really appreciate that you're trying to overcome COVID and working extra to put something out there and on your Twitter. And so the coaches really like that. They like the go-getters. They like the self-starters. So anyways, that's enough of the ranting about the COVID. All right, so we're going to take a quick commercial break. And when we come back, we'll talk with Brigham Dunphy from Barrington High School here in Rhode Island. Go ahead, Nick. Thank you. Hey, thanks again. This is Elite Football Recruiting Show on Sports Fan Base Network, Rhode Island. Excited to have uh, Brigham Dunphy on for our show tonight. Brigham, welcome.
Thanks for having me, Coach.
How's it going tonight?
Pretty well, pretty well.
What's going on? Are you? I know that you're at Barrington High School. For people who aren't familiar, maybe with Rhode Island, why don't you tell them a little bit about yourself, Barrington High School, and Barrington football?
Well, I'm a senior this year, class of 2021. I'm a football player, basketball player, track and field. You know, Barrington's it's a pretty small town south of Providence. I don't know what you're looking for, Coach.
All right, so sounds like you're a multi-sport athlete. That's fantastic. So in Rhode Island, they pushed the basketball season back because of the COVID. Are you playing basketball for the team right now?
Yeah, we actually just started. Our tryouts were January 10th, maybe. We just finished our first week today of practice. Got a game tomorrow. It seems like it's going to work pretty well, hopefully. We're having mandatory testing that's starting this week. You got to wear a mask when you play, socially distance during practice, sanitize when you walk in and when you walk out. It's pretty strict, but hopefully it'll work well, and then that'll lead into the football season working well too. So fingers crossed for that.
Well, sounds like they're trying to be as safe as they can. How's the squad looking?
Pretty good, yeah. We had a big senior class last year so I think there's 2 returning varsity players. So it's a pretty new team.
12 guys in the squad? 12
What's
guys
that?
on the team? 12 guys on the team?
11.
11. And so only hardly any seniors?
I think there's 5 seniors, 5 or 6 maybe.
What position do you play?
Wherever they need me, like small forward, power forward.
That's a great answer. You should be a politician. I know that a lot of college coaches, I don't know if you know this, Brigham, that they really like multi-sport athletes.
Yeah.
Is football your favorite?
Yeah, absolutely. Football has always been the top dog for me.
Yeah. And so you play quarterback and you also play defense, right?
Yeah, I play some safety. Played a lot of special teams, kind of whatever they let me do, I do.
So just like basketball, wherever they ask. So you're like 6 foot, 180.
Mm-hmm.
And how long have you been the starting quarterback?
I started about halfway through my sophomore year. I started starting, and so it's been 2.5 years going on the second full year starting, third year, pretty much.
That's impressive. So almost a 3-year starter. I mean, if you consider this year, what kind of football is? So I'm sorry. What level is Barrington? Aren't they the top level? Don't you guys play Henrican and some of the other teams?
We were, but we unfortunately just got moved down to Division II.
Well, I don't know. Maybe that'll be a little helpful. Win some more games.
Yeah, I was looking forward to playing D1 again, though. I like the highest level.
Playing the best competition. So do you actually know who you're playing? I know it's a compressed season. Do you know your schedule coming up?
I don't think they've released an official schedule yet, but I don't exactly know who we're playing, but it'll probably be just all the D2 schools, whoever's like. I know we're playing like Rogers, Tolman, I think. I think there's I don't really know, to be honest. I haven't looked too much into who we're playing. Just as long as we're playing, I'm happy.
Yeah, I second that. It's been a really up and down football season in the fall, and I know everybody's just crossing fingers that they still get to play. We're going to start playing supposedly in February 24th. Isn't that correct? I think you're allowed to start having practices or something like that.
Yeah, it's sometime around there.
Well, when did you start playing quarterback? How old were you?
Oh geez. I mean, I played my first year playing. I played a little quarterback, a little bit of everything that year, and then kind of bounced around. Played some fullback, halfback, some defense, wide receiver, and then landed back at quarterback in 7th grade, I think. And then since then, I've just been staying.
You're the man. So
Yes.
your Brigham trains with me, so I already know some of the back end details.
Mhm.
So you do have a goal that you would like to play college football, correct?
Absolutely.
And you're thinking about going to a prep school, correct?
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna do that.
Well, why don't you tell the people a little bit about that thought process and what that entails?
Yeah. So my dad, back back whenever he was done with high school, he did another year at a prep school, just like I'm planning to do, and he had a great year there, and it gave him a chance, and he ended up getting a scholarship at Fordham in New York, which is Division I AA. And so, from his perspective, he thinks that it was a great year for him. It gave him another chance in sports. It gave him a year to grow as a player and as a person, and he thought it was really beneficial to him, as well as all the other post grad students that he got to know on other teams or at the same school. They all had, or they all have had very positive reviews. And so, going through high school, it had always been a thought in the back of my head to go do it. And then, especially now that COVID has kind of taken away my senior year and like half of my junior year, it's also just another chance at a senior year in a way. So I'm looking forward to that. Just get another year of football, get another year to get ready to decide what I want to do with the rest of my life, what I want to do in college. So I think it's just a great opportunity, maybe a good idea for everyone to think about. It's probably might not be for everyone, but it's definitely something that people should look into, in my opinion.
Yeah, for people that don't live in New England, a prep school is like almost like a red shirt year. You get to do another year.
Hmm.
So for you, you're going to be a senior and you're going to go to a prep school with the idea of it's a preparatorial school to help you with your academics to go to the best academic college you can. That was the baseline back in the day, but
Hmm.
it also lets you do another year of sports, correct?
Yeah, they have rules where they can only have a certain amount of PG student athletes on a team. So I think in some leagues it's like they can only have three, I think, but some of them might be a little more. So it's very restricting on. They don't want a bunch of 19-year-olds playing another school who might not have any PGs. So
Yeah. So for the people on the show, when he says PG, he's talking about postgraduate.
yes.
So that's what a PG is. So there's probably 42 prep schools in New England, and some of them are allowed to have PGs, and then other of them they're not. So, but it's a great opportunity to extend your high school career.
Hmm.
So, because people outside of New England really don't understand prep schools, why don't you kind of talk in more detail about your process of trying to get one to accept you to go there?
Yeah. So I mean, it's pretty similar to college with the application process, I'd say, where you can do it on Common App, and there's a bunch of schools on there. So if you're on the right websites, you can have the same application for a couple different schools. They're not all in the same place, but you can find them there, and it's pretty similar where you have like your essays and your recommendations. And they've been doing Zoom interviews this year and virtual tours. So I've been zooming in with the um, admissions people, trying to get a feel for the school as best I can without actually getting to go there. That's been a bit more challenging. And then one thing that, especially for a post grad student that I would recommend would be, if you're looking to play sports, would be to get in contact with the coaches before you actually apply to the school, because of the price. The cost to apply is pretty expensive to apply to schools. If you find out that they aren't looking for your position, or they already have their PG spots filled up, and they'll tell you straight up that, oh, we're not looking to use a PG for a quarterback this year. So it's probably not a good idea to apply there if you're a quarterback. So it's a good idea to get in contact with the coaches and figure out the right place to go before you end up applying.
That's all great advice. Yeah, I actually coached at a prep school called Lawrence Academy in Massachusetts, so I'm very familiar. I was the OC and quarterback coach for 3 years at Lawrence Academy, and I probably put 24 kids in the prep school, and I have another 3 or 4 that want to go this year. So I'm very familiar with the whole prep school process. You're right; it's similar to going to a college. You want to do some research. Some schools like to get, because you can go as a freshman and reclassify or as a sophomore, and some schools like to have the kids longer. Other schools like the PG kids, the post grad guys, because they're more mature. They'd only have them for 1 year, but so every prep school is a little bit different. And so, like you said, it's good to reach out to find out where they're at. And it's just kind of like going to college. Like, you don't want to go to you're a quarterback, you don't want to go to a college where the starting quarterback's a freshman, because then you're going to be behind them for 4 years. So it's the same idea.
Mm-hmm.
Brigham, why don't you tell us a little bit about some of the schools some of these PG schools that you're looking at, and like why and where you're looking at them and what you're thinking.
Yeah, sure. I mean, I think some of my top choices right now that I've gotten some good feedback from are New Hampton and Worcester Academy.
Now, slow down. You gotta tell everybody, because you say it, but they don't know it. So you gotta say where it's at, what state it's in, and stuff like that.
New Hampton is in New Hampshire, and one of my cousins is actually going there right now for basketball, doing a PG year. So that's one of the reasons I applied there. He was telling me a lot about it, and it sounds like a great place. A lot of skiing nearby. It's like a lot of stuff around the campus that you could do if you're interested in it, like skiing, hiking. So that was also one thing that played into it. But I've heard that they are looking for a quarterback and interested in a quarterback, which is a big reason that I'm applying there.
I can attest for that for sure. We did the academic elite football, and along with my quarterback business, we ran a showcase over Christmas break in December, and I met the head coach from New Hampton, and he asked me if he had any quarterbacks that he would be interested in coming there. So I think you hit a hot spot there, because I know for sure they're looking for a quarterback. So Tell us some of the other schools.
What's that?
Tell us some of the other prep schools.
Oh yeah, and Worcester Academy, that is in Worcester, Mass, in all the colleges around there. So it's kind of a college city, I guess you could say. So it would kind of give you a better feel for college life, maybe. And one of my coaches right now actually went there in 2011, I think, and he's told me good things about it, good things about the coach. I think I talked to you a little bit about it. You told me good things about the coach, about the team. It sounded like a great place when I interviewed with them, and they told me about the school. I did like the virtual tour. The academics sound great. So it just sounded like a very well-rounded school, something that I'd be interested in. And it's pretty close to home, which is also pretty important to me. I want to be able to come home on weekends and still be able to not be totally away from home.
Yeah, I think from Barrington it's probably less than an hour.
It's a little bit over.
Yeah, so I met the head coach there also when we did over the summer. We did the quarterback competition in Carver, Mass in August, and I was lucky enough to meet the Worcester Academy coach. So yeah, he told me they were looking for a quarterback also. So those are two good choices.
Yeah.
Some of the because I know the list is kind of long. When you told me about it, I was impressed.
Yeah.
Who are the other schools?
I mean, I did have a pretty long list of places I was interested in, but they didn't all work out. Like I was looking at Salisbury Academy, which I believe is in Connecticut.
Yep.
But
Actually, Lawrence Academy played Salisbury in a bowl game. I'm very familiar. They were really a good team.
yeah, they're a great school. One of my buddies goes there.
Does it? I think it's Western Connecticut. It's more like the
Yeah,
Western.
yeah, and he loves it there. It sounded like a great place when I was talking to the admissions guy there, but I got in contact with the coach and he let me know right away that they're not looking for a quarterback this year. So that was out of the question pretty quick, but that's okay.
And then who else? Because you had more names than that. You tell me all the places you applied for.
Well, I didn't apply to all those places. Those are just places I was looking into, like Cheshire Academy, which is
Cheshire. I've been to Cheshire. I've got some guys I trained that go there.
Yeah, I forget where that one was. I think it was in
Cheshire. It's in Cheshire, Connecticut.
Oh, Connecticut. Yeah. That sounded like a great place. I'm trying to get in better contact with the coach so we can talk a little bit about the team or if I would have a spot on the team. But that sounded like a place I'd be interested in. I had Loomis. I forget what it's the name. The name's long.
Loomis is in Connecticut.
Yeah, that was something I'm interested in. Avon Old Farms. They've been pretty good the past years for football. And when I was looking at the team, I think their starting quarterback is a senior this year. So I think they're looking, but I don't know if they had anyone under him.
Yeah, their quarterback ended up committing to their senior quarterback at Avon was going to UConn.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, and his older brother, I think it's 3 years ago or 2 years ago, was a superstar and was the top quarterback in the country, and he actually went to Clemson. So,
he did?
Yeah, so
I knew he was good. I didn't know he went there though.
Yeah, they've got a path for a great quarterback. They play in a great conference. That's that conference that has Cheshire, Choate, Loomis, Avon Old Farms. That's a really great prep school conference, probably the best in New England.
Yeah, I've heard. Another one I've been looking at is Andover, Phillips Andover Academy in Andover, Mass.
So people who don't know, there's actually two of them. There's an Andover in New Hampshire, and there's an Andover in Mass. And I hope your grades are great because I don't know if you know it, but they're the number one
to get into.
Number one and number two ranked academic prep schools in the country. So just really, really high level academics to get in there. So, but if you get in there, that's a total pipeline into the Ivy League or the Patriot League.
Yeah, that's where my dad went for his PG year. He loved it there. I had the chance to visit last year and have a conversation with the coach.
Andover. Which one did he go to?
Andover.
In Massachusetts?
Yeah.
I've trained there many a time. I had a quarterback there last year. So, but yeah, it's interesting for people who don't live in New England. That whole process. So if I know Brigham, what's your Twitter account? So if people want to reach out, touch base with you and find a little bit more your process of going through the prep schools and stuff like that.
I think it's just Brigham Dunphy 4, I think. I don't know exactly.
If anybody else is interested, connect with me, DM me, message me on my Twitter. You can see my Twitter account's at Quarterback Guru. And it's the same username for my Instagram, and I can tell you all about it. It's not for everybody, but it's, like I said, I probably put 24 kids into it, and I don't think anyone has one bad thing to say about it. The people you meet are fantastic. It just seems like it's a private place, so the football players are way more motivated to excel. The competition level is off the charts. Usually every team has a FBS guy, one FBS guy or a couple. So the competition is great. The academics are great. And it is. It prepares you to do well at college. That's why they're a preparatory school. So I think that's going to be awesome. If you get in somewhere and you do another year, I'll have you back on in a year from now and tell us about your experience. And I know it's going to be a positive thing, and it'll be great for you.
Yeah, super excited.
Let's do another commercial break, Nick. And when we come back, we'll talk to Brigham for about another 15 minutes and get a little bit into his recruiting process, what that's like, what he thinks about it. When we come right back, again, this is Elite Football Recruiting on Sports Fan Base Network, Rhode Island. Thanks, Nick. Hey, welcome back. Elite Football Recruiting Show on Sports Fan Base Network, Rhode Island. Sports Fan Base has got a lot of cool, exciting things going on. Check out our channel. You can find us on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter. Really a lot of cool stuff going on. I know that we're doing live stream some of the games. They're committed to doing some live stream some of the football games. I don't know about other parts of the country, but here in New England, parents aren't allowed. There's hardly any spectators. And so Sports Fan Base has been videotaping and live streaming, not videotaping, but live streaming. And then later you can see it, the soccer. And I know they're doing some of the basketball, and they're going to be doing some high school football here in Mass and Rhode Island. So exciting times. Anyways, I want to welcome back Brigham Dunphy. He's a 2021 kid. He's a senior, quarterback, DB, does everything kind of guy, a Swiss Army knife. He's hoping to find a prep school to get another year to play high school football. It's been a challenge here in Rhode Island because we didn't have any prep football. It's tough to get recruited. So, Brigham, tell us a little bit about before you decided to do the prep school route, were you looking at maybe going to some colleges?
I think for the past 2 years, I think I've known that I was going to do a prep school. But before then, I was looking at colleges a little bit in school, like with my guidance counselor, kind of going through that process. But I think since like sophomore or junior year, I've known that prep school is what I'm looking for and something that I'm really interested in doing.
So what is your GPA right now?
My GPA is around a 3.3.
3.3, and have you taken the SAT yet?
I have not. I'm taking it in March.
Are you using a study test, or you getting some help with that? Because that's going to be really important to score that.
Yeah, taking the classes. They're doing like online classes that I've been taking.
Are you taking the SAT? Because so anybody else who listens in the rest of the country, New England is a big SAT test area. I grew up in Michigan and Wisconsin, and in there, they take the ACT. So how's the studying going for the SAT? How do you think you're going to do?
I think I'm going to do pretty well. Yeah. I think the classes are going well. I think I'm preparing pretty well. And hopefully I do well on it too.
Study hard, man.
Yeah.
Talk about all the time. The better the grade, the higher the SAT score, the more scholarship money you're going to get.
Mm-hmm.
What after you go to a prep school, what are you going to be looking for in a college?
I think it kind of depends on where the prep school takes me. I think right now I'm just hoping to play at the best school I can football-wise, but I think if I end up playing in the prep year and then, I don't know, talk to some college coaches, do a little bit more research into colleges that I haven't really done yet, then I think I'll kind of figure out whether I want to go because of the sports or I want to go because of the academics, if you know what I mean.
I do. I know you're part of Academic Elite football, and we talk about all the time about go to the best academics that you can.
Yeah, I think I'm definitely going to be looking for a good balance, but there's probably obviously going to be some schools that might be a better fit for me if I want to play football, or a better fit for me if I want to, I don't know, like for my major that I'm interested in.
Okay, so what is that? Let's talk a little bit about, delve into what subjects do you like, and what do you think you might want to major in?
That's another reason why I want to do a PG year, because I think those schools also, when I've talked to the admissions people, they can keep telling me about all these cool classes that they have that aren't offered at my public school, and I can get a chance to kind of broaden my experiences and kind of get a taste of a bunch of different subjects and different styles of learning. So that might give me a better idea of what I want to do. But I'm interested in engineering. My grandpa was an engineer, and I think some of the stuff that he got to do was really cool, and it's something that I'd be interested in. But I don't know for sure because I haven't really tried it and seen how it would work for me.
How are you in math?
I'm pretty good in math. I'd say math's one of my stronger subjects. I'm interested in world history a lot, because I feel like I haven't really gotten an opportunity to learn a lot about world history besides the world wars at my school so far.
Well, I know that engineering, you have to have a strong math background. They look
Mhm.
for. So
Yes.
um, you're going to want to study up on your SAT, the math section. So maybe you don't do so well in English, but if you do so strong um, in your math, that'll go a long ways. I'm sure they told you that. The council told you that.
Hmm.
New England's got some great academic schools, especially some engineering schools. Right here in Rhode Island, we have one of the top engineering schools in the country at URI. Are you familiar with their program?
Yeah, I am. But I think I'm more interested in maybe getting a little bit farther away from home when I go to college.
That's a common thing with you know
You got to get out of here.
players or college kids or high school kids. They want to. I don't want to say they want to get out of the house or get away from mom and dad, but they just they want to go
I think,
away.
yeah, a
Different.
chance to kind of explore different
Sure.
parts of the country, different kinds of. I think there's a different culture in different parts of the country, which I think would be interesting to see, and something that I'm interested in exploring.
I didn't you travel to California this summer?
What's that?
Did you travel to California this summer?
Not this summer. A few summers ago, I did.
So would you go to California to go to college?
Um, I don't know. It depends on the school. I
Maybe
think
maybe
it might be cool, but I don't know if that's necessarily where I'm looking to go.
do you want to go? I mean, up here in New England, a lot of times I hear, clients, athletes say they want to get out of the cold weather. Do you want to go down south, maybe?
Maybe, but I'm not. I'm not afraid of the cold weather. I'm a big snowboarder. I love to ski and snowboard. I like the
Oh,
snow, so I'd like to get somewhere where there's some mountains.
well, maybe we can get you into Dartmouth.
We'll see how it
No,
goes. No, we'll see how
uh,
it goes. Yeah.
I'm a big skier. So you're a snowboarder, huh?
Yeah. I mean, I've bounced back and forth. Kind of depends on the mountain. When it's smaller, I
You
like to
have a.
snowboard so I can kind of mess around more.
So I learned how to ski in Killington in Vermont. So that's kind of like my mountain. And then I was a ski ambassador for 3 winters there. So I used to have to do at least 24 days at a minimum. So I've skied a lot in Killington. Do you have a favorite mountain that you ski at or board at?
Um, I don't know if I have a favorite, but I've gone a lot in Vermont to a mountain called Bolton. It's kind of a smaller mountain, but
I've
that's
heard of it.
yeah, that's kind of the place that my family has gone a lot. I've been to Wachusett a bunch of times just because that's pretty close to me. That one's pretty fun too.
Yeah, I've skied Wachusett many a time. I love the night skiing.
Yeah,
Uh, I got work all day long or something coming up, and it's only from where I live in Rhode Island, it's about an hour drive or so, and get up there and get 3 hours of skiing. It's not ideal, but it's better than nothing. And it's not like way up north, but you still can get some runs on.
Yeah, it's good. It works. It's good enough. It gets the job done.
I don't want to downplay it, but it's better than Wagyu.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Sorry if I'm not promoting Wagyu, but you're not in the same class. So yeah, I'm actually trying to. I got a ski trip planned in March after football ends and all that. So I'm hoping that there's some snow or whatever. I don't know right now. Here in Rhode Island we don't have any snow, so it's been great to still train, but I don't know about skiing and boarding.
Yeah, I'm a little bummed I haven't really been able to go this year. COVID but we'll get there eventually.
Well, I pretty much asked you. I see if you could take the COVID vaccine, would you take it?
Yeah, if that means I get to play football, I'd do it.
Well, that's great. That's great. All right, Nick, let's take a quick break, and we'll come back and we'll talk a little bit more with Brigham for another 5-10 minutes. And again, thank you for our show here at the Sports Fan Base Network, Rhode Island. Elite football. Welcome back. We have Brigham Dunphy from Barrington, Rhode Island. This is the Elite Football Recruiting Show. I'm Todd Krueger. I own Academic Elite Football. I'm on social media, on Twitter. You can find me at Quarterback Guru or Academic Elite FB. I want to thank again a Sports Fan Base Network, Rhode Island, and Ron Roberts for letting me host the show. Again, check out their Twitter page, their Instagram page. They're on. This will be posted on YouTube. So great stuff going on. So super excited. All right, so Brigham, we're New England people. Are you for the NFL? Are you a Patriots fan?
Yes, I am.
So are you're a quarterback? Are you a Tom Brady fan?
Absolutely. Looking for a big Bucks win this weekend.
What's that?
Looking for a big Bucks win this weekend.
So you must like the Bucks hat that I'm wearing, huh?
Absolutely.
I got the old creamsicle back in the day.
Yeah.
I got to tell you a story. So I had a really short cup of coffee with the Minnesota Vikings in 1987, and I was there for like 2 weeks. And my first week, we played Tampa at Tampa, so it was really cool. And so I made sure I snuck into the sports shop, like, no one knew me, but I wanted to make sure I got a hat. So, I played in Tampa. That was the old stadium. We called it El Sombrero. It was so beautiful. But yeah, that's my Tampa story. So yeah, I'm rooting for the Tampa, and I'm rooting for Brady. So who do you think? Who do you like this weekend?
I like the Bucks. I think their offense is too good to be stopped, especially with playoff Brady. And I'm kind of rooting for Josh Allen to get a championship out of here. So
wait. We got to go back. Let's stick with the NFC. So you want Brady, but what about the other guy? I mean, that guy that plays for Green Bay, the guy that might be league MVP. What about him?
I wouldn't be mad at seeing him win either.
What's that guy's name? What's that? I keep forgetting that.
Aaron Rodgers?
Oh, yeah, that guy. Yeah, that guy. No? Yeah. You think?
No,
you think
I like him a lot.
Brady actually just roll in and Aaron's going to say, hey, Tom, good to see you. You know what? I'm going to let you have this one.
No. I'm excited to see the game. I think it's going to be a great game. And I would not be mad at seeing either team win, but I just got to go for Brady. All those years in New England, everyone hating on him. I want him to show that he wasn't just a system quarterback in New England, and he's the greatest of all time.
Yeah, I was lucky enough to meet Tom House. Through him, I worked for FBU Football University and did a bunch of clinics with Tom House, and Tom Martinez. I'm sorry, Tom Martinez. And so he told me when he's from California, when he was going to come to New England, he'd let me know and let me meet Tom Brady. And I was like a little high school kid, man. I was so fired up. I got to meet Tom Brady. I got to shake his hand. I felt silly afterwards. I felt like a little kid, and he was younger than me. But I got to meet. You know how it is in New England. Everybody loves. Most everybody loves Tom Brady. He was walk on water. So
yeah,
I'm rooting for him also. I just love Brady. I just think he's such a hard worker. He's an overachiever. He's been playing for 20 years. Some of our drills that we do, Brigham trains with me. Some of the drills we do Tom Brady drills. I just think he's the old school quarterback. He's not like Mahomes or Josh Allen or Lamar Jackson or Kyler Murray. He's the old school, kind of more in the pocket. But he has learned to move within the pocket and extend the play.
Yeah, absolutely. He
makes
the reads and makes the throw every time. So
yeah, his ability to read the defense and it's tough to fool him.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, Aaron Rodgers is kind of like a little bit like Mahomes, but he's been around a long time for Brady, and so had his best year ever, and in a long time, specifically was the number one quarterback. A lot of people are saying he's going to be the league MVP. You don't like Rodgers?
No, I like Rodgers. I want to see whoever wins this NFC championship game. I want to see them win the Super Bowl, but I got to take Brady over Rodgers. But I mean, I do really like Rodgers. I like the way he plays, and he's had a great year. And I don't want to see him lose, but I'd rather see Brady win.
If somebody's got to lose.
Yeah.
Rodgers does amazing things, man. He just flicks his wrists and he can throw the ball 40 yards. We train and we do all these drills, all these footwork drills, and some of these NFL guys, I just think they're God-given. They can do stuff that I don't know if you can teach it.
Yeah, no, it's so impressive to see him make some of the throws he does off his back foot and falling away from pressure.
Hey, Nick, I don't know if you have it, Nick, the producer. If you could find that video of Brigham, we actually have a little bit of a clip where you kind of look like Aaron Rodgers here, where you're kind of falling off and you're backpedaling. And I'm going to see if Nick can pull that up. And a quick look of you. I kind of thought you look like Aaron Rodgers-ish. Can we get that, Nick? Nope. I just gotta shake side to side. That's too bad. You remember one I'm talking about? I posted on your Twitter account where you're.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool. That was kind of Aaron Rodgers-ish.
Yeah, that was a fun drill. Get a chance to kind of use your athleticism and kind of get a funky release out there, but it's fun.
Yeah, we actually used a soccer goalie net as a distraction, and we made Brigham throw over it and kind of around it. So that was a great day training. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I do. That was a lot of fun. Can't wait to get back out there.
We stacked some great days together. We had a great group of quarterbacks and wide receivers. So
great receivers out there too.
Yeah, I have a story. I when I was with the Buffalo Bills, we had a game against the Packers, and I grew up in Wisconsin. And let me ask you a question. Do you know who Bart Starr is?
I've heard the name, yeah.
He's a young whippersnapper. So Bart Starr was like, I don't know, like kind of like Tom Brady of his time. Not his skill set, but he was like the winning quarterback who won the Super Bowl with the Green Bay Packers. Anyway, I had an autographed picture of him in my room, in my bedroom. So I was a growing up, I was a Green Bay Packer, and I lived in Wisconsin. It's kind of like living in New England and being a Brady fan. And so when we played, the Bills played the Packers at Lambeau Stadium. It was like a dream come true for me. So Lambeau Stadium is so cool. It's not like a typical NFL stadium. It's more like a flying saucer. And then they added the luxury boxes. It was grass. It was pretty cool. I have to say, it was one of the most coolest things I did as a NFL quarterback was my chance to play on Lambeau Field.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So that's enough about the NFC. So flip it over, and you're rooting for the Bills over the Chiefs. How come?
I mean, I don't know. I just kind of like the underdog story. I like to see the Bills kind of show off this year, and I hope they get the edge over the Chiefs. But I would like to see Brady Mahomes matchup, or a Rodgers Mahomes matchup, whatever. But I don't know. After seeing them win last year and be pretty dominant, I'm ready to see the Bills get their shot. And I like Josh Allen a lot. I like the way he plays.
You're kind of a smaller version of him. You're kind of a gunslinger.
A lot smaller version.
Well, I did say smaller version. I mean,
he's huge.
You don't realize that cat is like 6'5", 235. He is kind of like Ben Roethlisberger, but can move like a little bit like Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, and like you see him in the huddle standing next to his tight ends, and he's bigger than them. It's ridiculous.
Well, yeah, I got drafted and played for the Bills, so yeah, it's the Bills. I'm rooting for the Bills, and I'm kind of like you that I'd like to see somebody else, win the Super Bowl this year besides the Chiefs. It's kind of nice that different teams win it. I just all four quarterbacks are fantastic. We got Brady, Rodgers, Mahomes, and Josh Allen. It's been great for the Bills. They've always been behind the Patriots, so I'm impressed. Yeah. I'm so impressed with how much Josh Allen's improved.
Yeah, me too. It's crazy. And I'm glad he had a good year after he was getting a lot of hate for his first 2 years, which, I mean, you can't expect an all-star quarterback out of everyone their rookie season. So I'm glad he had a great season and hope the best for him.
Yeah, I think the Bills acquiring Stephon Diggs really was a big turning point for the Bills.
Oh, absolutely. He's been incredible this year.
Yeah, I'd say between him and Devontae Adams, maybe the two best, and then Deshaun Watson, those are probably the three best wide receivers in the NFL. And, we're Patriot fans, and I think the Patriots need to take a page out of the Bills thing, and the Patriots need a number one wide receiver,
I know that every time they draft and they're getting like three tight ends, a running back they won't use. I'm like, come on. It's tough.
Yeah, well, New England, we're spoiled, but we're frustrated because, the draft just seemed to – everybody knows we need a receiver. Everybody knows we need to replace Gronk, but we just can't seem to do it. So, I don't know. I'm hoping that the Patriots select the tight end from Florida this year, Pitts. I got to see him play twice, and he is just dynamic, but I don't know if they'll be available. They have the 15th pick. So, you want Allen to win. Well, what about Mahomes? Because we practice a lot of Patrick
Mahomes.
Yeah, we do the back pedal and the back arm and the no look, and because he's got all these new cool things that you can't hardly coach, but you can kind of practice.
Yeah, I think Mahomes is really cool. I love watching him play. But I'm ready for Josh Allen.
Just keep going back to Josh Allen. How are the Bills going to win? I mean, no one can beat Kansas City.
I mean, you just got to stop the big plays. Kansas City's just a big play offense. You don't really see them put together a long drive too often. It's usually just a fucking big bomb after big bomb. Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce, and they just got too many big players. They're so hard to defend, but I think the Bills have it in them. I think they can cook something up.
Now, like I mentioned, we have a few drills that we practice, and I have a drill called the Mahomes drill, where we backpedal. If you're facing downhill, it'd be to your backside, and they try to backpedal out and try to hit somebody. How do you like that drill? We try to emulate Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, I like that a lot. I'm gonna try that out in game if I get the chance this year. Try to use some of my new skills I'm learning with you. The back pedal. See how it works.
You have a big arm. You have a little bit of Mahomes and a little Josh Allen in you. Uh, didn't you guys run the option a little bit when you first started, and now you've kind of transitioned more to the
Yeah.
spread?
Yeah, we were really successful with it my freshman year, running option. Sophomore year wasn't so great, and then kind of got away from it last year. But I love the option. I think it's really fun to run, and it's really hard to guard if you do it well.
So come on, you got a little Lamar in you too? Do you like Lamar?
I do like Lamar.
Man, that cat
He's got
is
that quickness. It's mind
dude.
blowing to see him
When his
run.
game's on, man, he is slippery.
Oh, jeez.
I'm telling you, those guys. I had a cup of coffee in the other day, but those guys do stuff now that I couldn't even think about doing. They're just so unbelievably talented, so athletic, so fast. Their arms are so strong.
Mm-hmm.
They can throw off platform, on the run. It's just amazing what the pro quarterbacks can do.
I know, it's unbelievable. I'm blessed with all that talent. Wish I could get a little some of that, but
Come
gotta.
on, man! You got some talent. I've seen you. You can play college football, so get that SAT score up. You got one more semester of school, so try to get your grades up a little bit. Then hopefully you can get into a prep school, and we'll keep following you and see how you do. And I know you'll be playing. I've been doing this now going on 12 years. You'll be playing college football somewhere. So
I can't wait.
cool to follow up. And so I want to thank you for coming on the show tonight. So we had a quick review. We've got Brigham's on Twitter. Any college coaches, prep school want to meet him, or reach out to me at Twitter. I'll help you out. Brigham's about 6 foot, 180, 3.3 GPA from Barrington, Rhode Island. I want to thank Nick for producing the show tonight. I want to thank Ron Roberts and Sports Fan Base Network Rhode Island for letting me host the Elite Football Recruiting Show. And we'll be on next Friday, with another college player, high school player, or college coach talking football. So thanks, and have a great week.
Thank you, Coach.
All right. See you, Brigham.
Have a good one.